All right, continue along with our series that we're doing here on September 23rd, 2017, the soon-to-be failed prediction from the Future Fulfillment Advocates. As a quick recap here, September 23rd is the date that above Jerusalem the astrological sign of Virgo will appear. Now, mind you, it will be daytime. No one will be able to see it, but it will be there in the sky. People look at the collection of stars there and see that a connection to Revelation chapter 12, which says that a sign appears in heaven. And the sign that they see is supposedly a constellation. As I've expressed in numerous other videos and for many other reasons as well, this is not the fulfillment of anything. The major event that people see that's going to happen in addition to this sign appearing is a asteroid attack on America, essentially. The prophecy discusses how a third of the stars are pulled out of the sky, and people see that as being asteroids that are going to affect America. Like I tell people all the time, biblical prophecy has been fulfilled. You're not witnessing the fulfillment of anything. What you're actually seeing here is individuals are reading imagery language. They're not able to interpret imagery language. They do not have this. It's not they haven't really developed this skill set. Might be a good way to put it. They're certainly not being taught to do it from a church or religious standpoint. They're following a tradition, which is that the imagery language is to be interpreted literally. And this is the reason why they're constantly incorrect in predicting events. Continuing along with my many arguments against this date, September 23rd, 2017, I would like to bring in another aspect, and this is essentially a key difference for discussing end-time prophecy. And what it is what is being discussed when we talk about the end of time. Are we talking about the end of time, as in time is ending, a time-ending event? Or are we discussing, or more appropriately, is the Bible discussing the end of a time? So a time period is ending. And this is really the critical difference when it comes to interpreting end-time prophecy. Are we discussing the end of actual time, or are we discussing the end of a time? And the argument that I make to individuals, telling them all the time that Bible prophecy has been fulfilled, is that we are not discussing, or more appropriately, the Bible is not discussing the end of all time. It is discussing the end of a time. It's a passage of one era to another, the passage of one age or time period or epoch or world to another world. That's what's being discussed. It's not the end of all the world. It's the end of this world, this age. But the reality is that the age that we live in is not the age that the people in the Bible, those people live in an entirely different age than you. You want to know the big difference between the age that you live in today in 2017 and the age that the people lived in the Bible? The people in the Bible offer animal sacrifices to God. They offer blood sacrifices on an altar in Jerusalem. There's a huge temple there where they make sacrifices. There's an entire religious order attached to it. It is the focal point of the entire worship in Israel in the entirety of the Bible, dang near the entirety of the Bible. From the time that the dwelling place of God is established in the days of Moses, all the way through all the days of the New Testament, this is the focal point of everything in Israel. Look, when the temple is built in the days of Solomon, he even says in that prayer that the people should pray towards this place. It's the focal point of everything. But look at Jesus' words in John 4. He says that neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem where you worship the Father, meaning that individuals will be able to worship the Father everywhere. Jesus is talking about the change of age, the change of order, the change of time. The temple used to be a physical building in Jerusalem. It was the focal point of all things. The temple is now us, the believers, the people all throughout the world. This is the passage of one age to another, one world to another. It's the ending of one time and the bringing in of another time. So again, the individual who's looking at a prophecy or looking at these predictions, like September 23rd, they're awaiting a massive event to take place on the planet. And they're saying that this will be the proof of the fulfillment of the prophecy. They're entirely off base. The Bible's not discussing the end of time, a time-ending event. It's discussing the end of a time. And guess what? That time period ended. You live in the fullness that the people in the New Testament desired. So that's it, guys. And yeah, we'll see you later.